Hi, good morning. This is Bobbi with California Curb Appeal, and I am going to be talking today about mindset. And that's actually a pretty big topic, but it's actually one of the most important things. I was just talking to Shelly before we started. um, our clients don't hire us because we take good notes or we sound good on the phone or we know how to schedule a home inspection. They hire us because of our mindset, basically. The because they can trust us and they can see in us the ability to be able to negotiate for them and act on their behalf. When we are hired as an agent, we're hired to speak for the client in their absence, right? So they need to be able to trust us to say what they would say if they were there, right? So that takes a tremendous amount of trust and a tremendous amount of, negotiating interpersonal skills. Okay, so backing up, um, mindset. Now, if there's many different brokers out there, um, the reason you choose a broker is because you see in them something you want for yourself, right? For example, if let's say you're having a relationship trouble, you're having trouble in your interpersonal relationship, your significant other, are you going to go to the friend who um, is divorced and can't seem to make a relationship work and ask them for advice? No, probably not. You're going to go to the friend that has the solid relationship, the one who's always making it through, the one who's always happy. You're going to ask that person for advice, right? So the same thing goes for your career. If you are trying to, like me, for example, I'm trying to build a business. I am building a business. My mentors are people that are successful in business. I'm not talking to anyone who's had a failed business or who's unemployed. No, I'm talking to folks that have done it, maybe have done it multiple times, and they're good at what they do. And on top of that, I like them. And that's so important, that factor. And we'll talk more about that in a little bit. So the reason you choose a broker is because you see in that broker the a quality or a skill that you want to attain for yourself, right? I have been blessed with the ability to do this job at a really high level. And I'm not trying to be, boastful or anything like that, but I am confident in my skills. I can, I've reached the point where I can sit down for my day at work and just take calls. Now, people call me and say, you know what, I'm thinking about selling. What do you think? And they want my advice. I get a lot of calls, people just asking what to do. When you're talking about doing that or doing anything with the most expensive asset that you own, you want to go into it with somebody that you trust their opinion. You trust their ability to tell you what to do. That's going to be in your best interest. So just think about all that goes into that. Right? There's trust. There is confidence in your ability. There's likability once again. So some pretty big things go into that decision. So I would hope that as agents that you're taking that into consideration, and that's why you chose this brokerage, because because of what I can teach you. And that's actually my passion, is to pass on what I've learned to others and to see them grow. That's where my joy comes, right? When I see John was just texting me right now. He just picked up a listing and a sale, and we've been kind of working on the numbers part of it. Are the numbers going to work for the client? And I get so much joy out of that. Like, that made my day. Like, that John is like doing this. John, are you there? Am I talking about you in front of you?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, that's what I
Thank you.
thought. Anyway, no, I'm really excited, and I want John to succeed, and that's where I get my energy and my strength and my joy. That's my joy. Um, so what is that? Where does that come from, and how do you learn to be somebody who can just walk into the office, sit down, and the calls are coming to you. You're not having to knock on doors. You're not having to make a ton of phone calls. What is that quality? And that's what I'm going to try and teach today. And it has to do with mindset. It has to do with a few different things. So I think we've already determined there's 3 things that go into that. The first one's likability. The second one is the confidence. And the third one is mindset. Is that right? Mindset. Okay, so first of all, likability. It's not hard to be. I remember when I was in high school, I had the worst time. I mean, I was super, like, painfully shy. I was self-consumed. I mean, a lot of us were, but I was self-consumed. I just had a really rough time, and it was because I didn't really understand how to be liked, and that's really all I wanted. I just wanted to be liked, and throughout my life, I've tried, many different ways to be liked. And it's there's nothing really tricky to it. The trick is just to be somebody that you would like to be around, to be kind, to be considerate, to be a good listener. These are all kind of the basics. And I find that with clients or new people that you're meeting, if you maintain good eye contact and be genuine, be warm, be truthful, be what do you call that, vulnerable, but not to the point where it's awkward. I remember one time I was training an agent who's not here any longer. She was trying to be vulnerable with a client that we were both talking to, and the conversation got really like into her gastroenterology system, and it's like that. Okay, that's too far. You can make yourself vulnerable without having to go to those depths. Admit something about yourself that that helps you connect with that other person. So when you are meeting somebody for the first time, keeping these things in mind is really important. Another thing that you can do is to make yourself likable is to listen. Oh my God. I think a lot of times we get so busy thinking about what we're going to say next that, between the thinking and the talking, there's no time left for listening, and that's like the most important thing you can do, especially when you're meeting a new person. Hi, Jackie. Is just, take the time to listen and make eye contact and really try and connect with that person. When you listen, you can pick up on things. You pick up on things like let's say I'm talking to somebody and they're like, "Oh my God, I still haven't filed my taxes yet, and I'm just having a really hard time um, finding a tax person," right? And so, when you leave that meeting with that person, maybe just Google great tax people, or maybe someone, great tax person, and shoot them an email and say, "You know what? I heard you. I have this tax person that I love or whatever, and I wanted to just, offer this to you. I could do an invitation if you like, virtual introduction or whatever." Things like that, that shows that person that you listened, that you heard them. And I think Oprah's the one that says, all people really, really want is to be heard, is to be heard, you know. Um, Another thing that does when you offer something to that person, that gives them the obligation to do something back. Um, and I don't say that so that we, tip the scoreboard all over with everybody around us. I'm just saying that as a matter of, that's exactly what happens when you do something nice for someone. They feel obligated to do something nice back. That's just the way it is. Just think about when people do something nice for you. What is the first thing that goes through your mind? You're like, "Oh, well, maybe I can do this for them," So that kind of covers likability. Just be the friend that you would like to be friends with. Do unto others. I mean, it really does. It really is that simple. Okay, so likability. The next thing is trustworthy. Now, trust is such a huge part of this, because, again, you're dealing with something that that provides them shelter, that provides them safety, that provides them comfort, like everything that protection, the person that they choose to handle that with them has to be somebody they can trust. And how do you build trust? Well, it has a lot to do with being likable, but it also has to do with um, creating a pattern of trustworthiness, right? So, one way that you can do that is, let's say you had a meeting with this new person, you got to know them, you sent them an email with some things that might help them, with something that you heard them say. And then you say something in your note, your text, or your email. You say something like, "Hello. Uh,
Hi. I
Okay,
think we're looking
sorry
for
about
you.
that.
We're looking for you.
And then you send them a note that says, "Look, I'll give you a call on Friday
Okay,
at
that's
2
where he's at.
o'clock
Excellent. You are the hardest
to
man
follow
to
up."
find.
And
Over
when you
there.
do that,
How can I
keep that commitment. Call at 2 o'clock, because what are you doing? You're creating a pattern of trustworthiness. So when you call them at 2, you're just going to follow up. You're just going to check in. And then, maybe set something up for the next meeting. So keeping this pattern of trustworthiness, somebody for U-Haul, going. Sorry, I was knocked off track. Anyway, keeping this pattern of trustworthiness going. So really, it's about doing what you say, and when you say you're going to do something, do it. Follow through, and that will build that pattern for them, and realize that, okay, you are a person that can be trusted. Okay, so we've covered likability, we've covered trust. Now confidence. And I think confidence is one of those things that when you come into the industry, you want that like right away. I know I did. Like, how do I get the confidence? How do I talk to people? How do I, how do I do that? And that is really so easy to get. So all confidence comes from is from the knowledge, your own knowledge, that what you're saying is right and what you're saying is good, you know. So if you have that knowledge, and when you're talking to someone, you know that what you're saying is 100% correct, you're going to naturally be confident in what you're saying, right? Remember I said, like, when I was in high school, I was painfully shy. Well, when I got into real estate, it actually was a way for me to be confident and to start talking to people and to get over that, because I was able to learn something about a topic that almost like 99% of people are interested in. I don't care. Even if you're not buying or selling a house, you are doing something with your house. You're decorating it, you're painting it, you're I don't know, you're always doing something with your house. Test this theory. Test it. Go up to anybody and ask them a question about their house. I will guarantee you'll be full on conversation in just 5 minutes, because people love to talk about their dwelling, whether, it doesn't matter. They're always doing something with it. So it's one of the easiest topics to start talking about. Have you ever tried to start a conversation with somebody and it's just a non-starter? Maybe the person is just not engaging. There's not a topic you can present to them that they're going to, follow up with.
Good morning.
Anyway, busy morning. Anyway, so with that topic, you are already given like a gift, because that topic's easy to talk about. Now, learning things about our industry and being able to tell somebody about, I don't know, maybe the tax benefits of owning a home. I'm sure all of you know what those are. If you're explaining that to somebody who has no idea about the ability to write off your mortgage interest, if you're explaining that to somebody, you're going to be confident because you know that topic inside and out. So that's where confidence comes from. It comes from the ability to know without a doubt what you're saying is 100% true. And what you're saying is something that the person that you're talking to has very little knowledge about. So it just automatically gives you confidence. So in order to build confidence, all you need to do is do as many training classes as you can possibly do. And there are so many free things available out there. You don't have enough time to cover all the free trainings that are available. We do have a training calendar, by the way. I'll send that out as soon as this training is over. But it's a Google Calendar link, and you click on it, and it's got all the trainings that are coming up at the association. Different ones that are offered up by different companies, zip forms, webinars, just everything. And once you look at this calendar, you're going to be like, oh, I can possibly do all these. It's just a lot. So that kind of, if you take those three elements, confidence, likability, and trustworthy, if you take those three elements and focus on those when you meet people, and you put all of that into practice, then you are going to be a force to be reckoned with. You're going to earn that trust like that. It's not hard to earn somebody's trust. You just be trustworthy. You be honest and be true to yourself. You be correct in what you're saying. Be confident by knowing what you're talking about. A lot of new agents do this too. And bless their heart, they're just trying to do the best they can. But, sometimes when you're meeting a new person, they bombard you with a ton of questions. They're like, well, what about this? What about that? And you can be overwhelmed. And they say that if you don't know the answer, tell them you don't know, but you'll get back to them. Well, that's great. But if you're doing that with every single question, pretty soon they're going to look at you like, what do you even know? You don't even know anything. So if that happens, you start talking. You start talking, stop them from asking questions, and as soon as you leave that conversation, start knowing the answers to the questions. So maybe you won't get that person, but you will get the next one because you know what they're going to ask. And after a while, after you talk to enough new people, you're going to see that most of the questions the new people ask are exactly the same. Once you have these questions kind of down, or the answers kind of down, it's going to be like really easy to pop off with the answers because you're going to be able to anticipate what they're going to ask. So we've only got 4 minutes left. I really want to make those 4 minutes count. So where do you meet these new people? I'm sure all of you are getting calls from lead generation companies, and they're saying, what you need to do is buy leads. Well, let me tell you, what you need not to do is buy leads. I mean, that is I'm not going to say anything more about that, but it's just, so think about it. Let's do some thinking about it common sense wise, right? So these people are, well, I don't want to say maybe it's a complete waste of money because I don't know. It's your own decision. Anyway, so this company is putting something on the internet that's enticing, and they're grabbing some information from a complete stranger, and they're answering the first question that we always have. Are you interested in buying or selling? So I guess in that aspect, if you're getting leads like that, where all they've done is determine whether they're looking to buy or sell or not, then those probably are great leads because you can start from there and start building your relationship and your trustworthiness and, the 3 elements that I talked about. However, if you're getting leads from a company who's already done some nurturing and then they're shuffling this person off to you, then I feel like you're already starting out in a bad position because somebody else has already started building the relationship, and now they're hearing from another complete stranger. They're having to tell their story all over again. So just be careful, I guess, is what I'm saying. Whoever you're buying your leads from, make sure that, they're just determining whether, they're somebody that you want to get to know or not. But I think it's better to start with your friends and your friends of friends and the groups that you belong to and social media. I mean, if you start there, you're already ahead of the game because they already know who you are. Maybe you've already started building some of that trust. And maybe you don't want to market yourself to your friends. I know that's a common thing that especially with new agents, they just I want to be big but not to my own group. And I don't understand that, but the place you do want to start is with your family and friends because those are the people that already trust you. They already know you. And okay, let's say you don't want to market to them. Well, recruit them then. Recruit them to be your biggest fans. Give them a pile of little. Oh, I want to show you something super cute. And you guys can pick these up from the office too. I have a ton of these printed. So it's just a card. And on the back, it's like an interest card. So they can fill out their name and their info. What are they interested in? and then here's some contact information. You can staple your business card to this, and you could give these to your family and friends and say, look, if you run into anyone that's looking to buy or sell, just give them this. Please, can you just do that? I think that will go a long ways. And I have tons of people always recruiting for me, or for the company. And it seems to work really well. Anyway, I'm going to end it there. Does anyone have any questions? No? Okay. So I'll end it there. Thank you for attending. And I will see you all very soon.
Good day.
Hi guys, have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.